Out of all the places you've landed on the internet, you've landed on my face and this 1990s webcam. The good thing is I'm using a mic. I figured I'd plug one in because people will probably struggle through poor video quality more than they will struggle through poor audio quality. So here we are. And today, I figured I'd take 10 minutes out of my day to show you this, the Wacom tablet or any variation of MacroPad that you might have, and how that can make your life abundantly easier in Avid Media Composer. I'm sure that there are probably tutorial videos out there already on this topic, but it's such a huge time saver for me that I figured it was worth showing you guys. So here we are in the Avid. I've got kind of a mess of a timeline right now, and this is all selected footage. The process of how I pull selects is not important, so I'm not going to go into that. But essentially, all of these files right here are offline. And that's because I was a dummy and I transcoded them wrong. So I needed to retranscode them, bring them back in, and redo my select sequence. Pain in the butt, I know, but it was necessary. And I'm going to show you how I did this in like 5 to 7 minutes, as opposed to probably an hour or two. All thanks to this tablet right here. So I am going to let's see here. I'm gonna undo some of my work here, just so you guys can see. And I made a copy. I did not rename it because I'm being lazy for whatever reason. Don't ask me. I don't know. So let's undo some of my work here. And essentially what I want to do is reference the cut points up here and translate that to down here. You could do this with a trackpad with keystrokes. As you probably know, because you're watching this video already, in Avid, the keyboard is king. You can essentially edit without a mouse if you wanted to. I don't know why you would want to, but yeah, hey, different strokes for different folks. I've got such a weird layout on my keyboard, as you're about to see, and I apologize for that. You'll probably only see this here. That's not important. What you need to ask yourself is, what keystrokes am I doing? What am I trying to do? And what set of keystrokes am I doing over and over again that I can streamline in a macro, the touch of a button? And in my case, that is referencing these top edits. So for me, I have a next edit for my up and down arrow keys that will reference the exact point where there is an edit on that top timeline. I'll zoom in a little bit here. And it will bring me to that point on the lower clip. Now all I need to do is select that track, add an edit, deselect that track, go to the next edit, and do the same thing. Select, add an edit, deselect, go to the next. And my monkey brain thinks that it is faster with using my fingers for the first half. So oftentimes I'll find myself getting maybe this far in to an edit, and I'm like, man, it's just taking so long. And I remember, you have technology for this. What are you doing? Computer's going to be much faster every time. So once you get to that point, you remind yourself of that. You're like, all right, cool. Like I could actually... I just ran another macro that is completely unrelated. Please disregard. I'm going to go back to the beginning. Clear my in and outs. And we're back. Good thing I made a copy of this sequence. My goodness. This is turning into a train wreck. It's all good. I just need to show you guys how cool this is. Because right here, I mean, you saw about how long that took for one clip. You're making those edits. You come in here, you can maybe snap to it. You select your track. We've got track 4 selected. Nope, we don't want that. Just one selected. All right, we're going to add an edit, and then maybe we'll go back. We'll select that clip, and then we'll just something like that. Go through and do that. This is going to be much faster because you can go into your software, which of course I don't have up because I am not prepared. It might look something like this. If it's Wacom, it'll probably look exactly like this. But these are an example of some of the things that I do, which it's about 13 to 20 keystrokes long, and it just really saves time. It really does, because oftentimes I just do this without thinking, and then you know, come back to it. And in here, the marker please delete, all of this is referencing where I'm at in the timeline. So I'll add a marker. I can maybe go to the end of a sequence, paste in a certain element of which I just copied, go back to the marker, select the marker and delete it, and start playback, all in one keystroke. And a lot of the reason why I put this, one of the reasons why I put this in is just to honestly add a bit of a space, because sometimes these macros work too fast. I'm rambling. Let me get to it. Go to a keystroke. This first one is going to be very simple. I want to select the first track. I want to add an edit. I want to deselect the first track, and I want to go to the next edit. Hit OK. And that's this key on the macro pad right here. So I know that as long as I have the first track selected, deselected, sorry, it's going to select this first track, make an edit, deselect it, and then go to the next edit. Boom. Looks like it did it. Cool. So I'm going to skip ahead because we already did that one. But the cool thing about it is you can just click that button now, and it's going to do those 4 keystrokes for you. You don't have to think about it anymore. You're just doing it. You're flying through, and you're like, all right, cool. I would definitely suggest keeping an eye on this as you're doing it. I wouldn't spam it unless you have visual on the rest of the timeline, because there are weird instances where it's going to mess up or the macro is going to miss one key or something. But anyways, this is how I go through. And you'll notice on this first clip, I mean, this is just an A camera. So it is a fairly simple layout. What happens if you have 2 cameras or 2 tracks? Well, it's pretty simple. All you need to do is add that second track. So let me undo some of my work again. Okay, so we're here. What do we need the pad to do? Well, we need it to select the first 2 tracks. We need to make an edit, deselect the first 2 tracks, tracks 1 and 2, and we need to go to the next edit. Okay, great. Let's try it. I did something wrong. Hang on. Let's get back to there. Oh, I might have had it selected on the onset. So if I click that button now, yeah, it essentially deselected those tracks, went to the next edit. So it stayed right in the same exact spot. In this case, we don't have anything selected. We're at the edit point. We click it. Boom. It selects the 2 tracks. It makes an edit, deselects them, goes to the next edit. All right. This is a very simple example of how I use these. But you can see, like, this is such a huge time saver. You're not sitting there going to the next edit trying to think, okay, I need to select the first 2 tracks. Shoot, I somehow selected track 7. Deselect that one. All right, let's go back, select the clip, raise it. No, like, you're just clicking a button. And that's the whole point of this. Now, once you have all of this done, you can start getting into more complicated keystrokes. All right, let's go here. And let's say I want to select the first 2 clips on the first 2 tracks and raise it to match these, right? Because we're looking at that and we're like, okay, we need to raise 2. All right, I'm just going to use what I normally would on a keyboard. I'm just doing it once. I'm not doing it twice. So we select the first 2 tracks. We select those clips. Again, apologies for my weird keyboard layout, but if I ever need to edit on default AVID keyboard someday, that's going to be interesting. But irregardless of all of that, I selected those clips. I raise them twice. I deselect them, which Command-Shift-A does it. You could hit 1-2 again. Let's just say Control-Shift-A, since I'm on Windows right now. Deselects everything. And instead of going down once to the next edit, we want to go to the next clip. So we're raising this clip right here. We want to go over to the end edit and to the next edit right here. This is a weird example because I've got it doubled up. So let's say here, we're raising these 2 clips twice, and then we're going to this edit point and then jumping to the next. And then we can do the same thing for these 2 clips right here. So let's give that a shot. We're going to add select the clips, raise it twice, deselect everything, and over 2 edits. Okay, so let's give it a shot. We've got these 2 tracks deselected. Keep in mind the keystroke starts with 1, 2, and that selects the first 2 tracks. We want that to select these clips and so on and so forth. So we click it, boom, it raises those 2 clips. And I would keep your keyboard handy just so you could like go back and forth on edits and make sure you're in the right spot. But you just find the next instance and boom, 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 boom. Like you could just click that button. You don't have to think about that action again. And like I said, like there are more complicated keystrokes, but anything that you're going to repeat over and over again, even if it's 20, 30, 40 keystrokes long, you can make it a button press. And that's a beautiful thing. So thank you for watching. And I hope that this helps, and it's going to save you a lot of time. So if you don't have one of these, highly suggest it. You could probably get it for under $100 on eBay, honestly. Or like I said, any variation of MacroPad will do it and make your life abundantly easier. And people will be happy and impressed. Hopefully impressed. So yeah, thanks for watching. Go get a Sonic or something. You deserve it. Be kind to yourself today. Goodbye.